This is an intense record, man. We realized as we've been playing these songs out.
Trevor picked all the hard ones.
But then also the whole record is that way. We didn't mean to do that, but but we did.
Well, and we didn't really even, I mean, we recorded the record, but like the song sort of came over time. And then when you start playing the release shows and it's all these songs together, you're like, whew, I need a day off in
After
between sets
yeah, in between sets, I need a day off.
just
Yeah,
to, be healthy.
yeah.
Well, we are back on Country Pocket. The new album is Dreamers from Wild Ponies. We're here with Doug and Telisha Williams. Uh, yeah, I picked a couple intense ones off the bat. I felt like that was the vibe that was both the most compelling and very prominent. But I would be remiss if I didn't cover a song like Heartbeat because that is also there on this record. And um, you're right that there are these intense feelings, but some of them are intensely good. So let's talk about the positives of parenthood.
Oh, yeah.
It's a blast, man. I'm up a lot earlier than I used to be, but yeah, it's really fun to watch them learn and pick things up and figure things out and
It,
interact with each other. It's crazy.
it's also beautiful to see your partner. I mean, we've been together since we were in high school. We played in marching band together, and it's been such a beautiful experience to see Doug as a dad. Like it's just he's a great dad, and he's so quick to be he's so patient, and he's quick to do the most fun things, like things that the kids ask to, be swung overhead and all of those things that I wouldn't do, that he's just quick to do. And he's a very yes, you say
We
yes
try really hard to
a
say yes
lot,
whenever we can.
which is, it's just beautiful to witness somebody that you feel like I mean, I've known Doug most of my life, but now I'm seeing this whole new human just come to life inside this person that's been inside him all along. And that's been incredible. And we had a challenging journey to parenthood. I mean, we've already covered foster care, but we had to go we did a fetal embryo transfer, and which is similar to IVF, but none of our genetics. We did an open embryo adoption, and so our daughter has two genetic siblings that live not too far away, and we get to see them and be
Call them the
connected
cousins.
to them. Yeah, we refer to them as cousins, which is a beautiful process, very, very intense. And in that process, we had an unsuccessful transfer, which was devastating, and then did the open embryo adoption, which turned out beautiful. And it came with a community, it came with a whole other set of people that get to be a part of our family. And Heartbeat came out of that.
Yeah, why go through these more unconventional processes to become parents?
For us, it was the only option, and we had it was the only option that we had. It's we weren't sure when we were younger whether we were going to be parents or not, and then when we got to the point that we had decided, which is a whole other story we can get into about the process of the realization that we actually did really want to be parents. Yeah, that was what was available to us with the things that we had. We looked at it at that point like a quest, like Legends of Zelda, and we literally use that as a analogy in our house. And like it didn't matter where we were on a quest, gathering the parts and the pieces to build this family, and it didn't matter where what you had to do to go get the different parts, but you had to just go collect the pieces to make the family, and that's what we did.
And we really, as I was going through the fertility treatments, there's a lot of shots that you take, and it's a lot of stuff to my body. And we involved as many people in our community as we could, because we really felt like that's what this whole process was for us, is building. We were just building, and we were just bringing in a new person to be a part of this incredible community.
Yeah. Tell me about the future of touring now that you have kids.
It's a great question.
That is a great
Figuring it
question.
out.
It's a little different. I tell you what's really super fun is when we have the kids with us and we're playing a festival or an outdoor stage somewhere, and our partner Laura can come and bring the kids, and everybody's there, and it's just a blast. And you look out at the crowd, and you can see our kids are running circles around everybody, and they know all our songs, even though they're just tinies. But that's super fun. That can't be every day. That can't be every week. So we're sorting it out. We're figuring out how to tour. I think also coming out of the pandemic, every artist I know, and maybe you can confirm this, we all decided we're going to tour a little bit differently. Like we all realized that maybe we didn't have to take, the door deal in Topeka, Kansas on a Tuesday evening if we didn't want to, maybe we could go home that day instead if we were close enough, especially living in Nashville. Nothing against Topeka and nothing against door deals that you got to take every now and then. But I think all of us decided we were going to tour a little smarter than we had in the past anyway. And then having kids, we've just talked to our agent, and we've worked out a strategy. And for us, one cool thing about living in Nashville is that we're not that far of a drive from a lot of the U.S. population, and we can also take a quick flight to the center of somewhere and go play 4 or 5 shows and come back home. So we're playing, we go out twice a month for weekends, and those can be long weekends, like Wednesday or Thursday through Sunday. But we're not going to go out for weeks and months at a time like we used to.
All right. So you're trying to, I guess, you talk about living Zen, living in the moment. How do you take these moments in and make them last?
Mm.
I don't think
I,
you can have attachment. I mean, they got it. That is the question. But I don't. I think the trick to doing that is not having an attachment to that particular outcome, and just because if you've got a moment and you're holding on to it, and you're like, don't let this go away. Don't let this go. You're focused on, don't let this go away. You're focused on the future instead of living that moment that you're letting slip away. So it's a tough one. Like I'm not saying I can do that. I'm not trying to say that I've got that down because I don't.
well,
But
we can also, like, we have the benefit of tucking some of these moments into song and into
and
story and
photographs.
photograph. I mean, our partner Laura is an incredible photographer. It's what she does for a living. So she captures extraordinary moments, and we
Behind your head right now, you can't see it because it's a Zoom call, but there's this massive wall of photographs of our family over the past, 4 or 5 years, and yeah.
yeah. And this is the wall where we eat dinner every night with the kids, and they're seeing
And they ask
those
about them all
moments.
the
And
time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty
Well,
sweet.
River does. River has the words. Iris just doesn't have the words yet to ask a lot of questions.
She just named some people in the
Yeah.
picture she sees.
Uh, Last thing I want to touch on in terms of family is, you talk about in one song, paring knife, forgetting parts of Mama, remembering parts of others. What is the impression you guys want to leave?
That is a it's interesting since writing that song. I have saved not every, nearly every voicemail that my dad has left me because I don't want to lose his voice. I've lost my grandmother's voice. Every once in a while I hear words come out of my mouth and I'm like, "Oh, there it is. There it is. That's how she said that word." Um but again, that's like it's really you being present in the moment to be able to tuck those things in. Um,
But are you asking
Perfect.
what impressions we want to leave for our kids on
Yeah.
them? Okay.
Mm,
Geez, that is a really tough one. I really think all three of us would say that we want them to see that living an artistic life is possible and living life on your terms is possible. It's really important to us that they see that. Um, yeah,
yeah,
I think that's probably at the top of the list to be exactly who you are and just be proud of that, whoever it is.
yeah.
All right. I'd like to close things out by having you guys pick a song. Only rule is you can't have had anything to do with creating it.
Oh,
Um, and let's pick a song that you draw something from in terms of your parenthood.
Oh wow,
oh,
that is
wow.
something.
Well, see, I knew what song I was going to pick until you said that last part.
Did you?
Well, I was going to go with Car Wheels on a Gravel Road. Um,
Nah, if you just ask people to pick, you get a lot of the same stuff.
yeah, totally,
Yeah,
totally.
I bet you do. That had to do with our parenting. That is fascinating. Um,
Oh, I know one.
okay, what have you got?
I've got Ben Glover's Kindness.
Oh, that's a fantastic choice.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good choice.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Glover and Kindness.
All right. Doug and Talisha, thanks so much for coming on. They're the Wild Ponies. The new album is Dreamers.
Thanks, Trevor.